From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Spots Now. We start with an exclusive for you today. Daylight Media has signed Bill Maher's Club Random. It becomes the latest show to join the network in a period of fast growth. Daylight will work with Club Random on sales and distribution. 9 other shows have recently joined the platform. Consumers simply don't have the attention span they once had. Writing for Pod News Today, DAX US's Brian Conlon suggests this is a myth waiting to trip up the unwary marketer. And in fact, the data points to consumers just making choices on where to direct their attention. A podcast app that removes advertising, Zero Ads, has measured the ads in 60,000 episodes submitted by their users. The median, the company says, is 4.3 minutes of ads per episode. That's 10.2% ads. But some shows are significantly more. iHeart's Handle on the Law is 44% ads, apparently. iHeart's Covino and Rich is 36%. iHeart's Dear Chelsea is also 36%, and iHeart's The Ben Maller Show is 35%. Something linking all 4 of those. I can't think what it is. Data in Podscribe and our own test suggests that Zero Ads is significantly overestimating the number of ads in podcasts. That's unsurprising given it's trying to promote its product. But even Podscribe suggests that those 4 shows consist of more than 20% ads. Megaphone switches to using Spotify ad server from Friday. Since we reported on this in early May, the company appears to have changed the maximum allowable duration to 90 seconds rather than 60. Vast tags are no longer supported. Got an archive clip you want to use, but somebody's mixed music underneath it? I can't stand people mixing music underneath things. Anyway, a new tool from lalal.ai has been released that could help with that. Lynx is trained to separate speech from background music, crowd noise, interference or environmental noise. We have a few examples you'll find linked from our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. In an email to users, one of 11 since early June, Good Pods is celebrating more than 2,000 connections with its Earshot podcast guest service. The email comes from Santi, CEO, Good Pods. But Santi Garza has confirmed to Pod News that he hasn't worked at Good Pods since April. The MPN Awards take place on July the 30th in a live stream from London. They recognise marketing podcasts around the world, and the New Zealand Podcast Awards 2026 has been announced. Entries for that open in early August. Prism Clip is a new tool that helps podcast producers or listeners quickly search and clip long-form audio or video, describe the moment in ordinary language, and the tool will render short clips to share on social media. There's a free tier for you to upload up to 60 minutes. Buzzcast, the official podcast from Buzzsprout, the 3rd largest podcast host in the world, has added its show back to Spotify. In the latest episode, Kevin Finn explains why the company had made the choice to remove its show from the platform in the first place. It sounds as if Spotify is fixing the lock-in issue that we highlighted in May, that the company is now more open about podcasting as a whole, and that Buzzsprout's team are keen to use as many platforms as possible. Podtrac has updated its certification to version 2.2 of the IAB podcast measurement guidelines, and there's a new company listed as compliant, Red Seat Ventures. Red Seat Ventures itself doesn't own any podcast hosting companies yet, apart from Supercast. And horror folk audio drama Beck's End is at the end of a crowdfunding round, just £4,000 or $5,300 away from the target. The atmospheric show will be set in a remote English village where something ancient stirs beneath the water. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff. Zero Ads, which we mentioned above, operates similarly to other ad blocking services, taking one download, then caching an ad-free version on their service, so total downloads are completely hidden from the creator. Download requests come from an IP address that we've published today, using hosting run by Latitude, a service built for AI tools. And as is probably as expected, the downloads are spoofing a version of Chrome from May 2024. We gave it a recent issue of This Show. It hacked the first 2 minutes 10 seconds off the front and a further 1 minute and 5 seconds from the end. It thinks 57% of this show is ads. In reality, as you know, the ad read only totals about 14% of the episode. After Amazon and iHeart announced upcoming support for the alternate enclosure earlier this year to enable both apps to be able to show video podcasts, Buzzsprout appears to be testing it. It's visible in Buzzcast, the company's podcast. Speechify AI's Simba 3.2, an artificial voice tool, has hit the top of the artificial analysis chart. The chart measures voice quality marked by humans. The appearance is interesting given that it's also the cheapest model in the top 20. 11 Labs is 10 times the price. And looking for a quick and simple way to grab a milestone card to promote your show? RSS.com has added a tool to help for its own podcasters. And in podcast news, Tom Holland was interviewed by Tom Holland for The Rest is History. Tom Holland isn't a podcast host and appears with Tom Holland, who isn't an actor. Holland talked to Holland about Christopher Nolan's forthcoming epic Odyssey, which Tom Holland doesn't star in, although Tom Holland does. Holland, not that one, has recently been criticised by Elon Musk for apparently liking the movie, which stars Holland, not that one. Joe Marlowe Will See You Now has Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, on his podcast later today. To mark exactly 1 year to go till the Invictus Games Birmingham 2027, the Duke is joining Joe and co-host Jake Bardwaj alongside his close friend, former Invictus competitor and broadcaster JJ Chalmers. And this podcast is sponsored by Spots Now. Get Spots Now's Claude and ChatGPT connector to trial for free. Ask your AI anything about podcast advertising in plain language right inside Claude or ChatGPT. It's designed from the ground up for podcast advertising workflows and strategic sales and buying questions to give you a competitive advantage. You can use it for the next kind of 2 weeks-ish. You can use it until the 22nd. What's that now? Wednesday week. So you can give that a go right now. It'll just take you 60 seconds to connect up at spotsnow.io/intelligence, or you can click on the link you'll find in our show notes. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.